and he turns up the volume with talk of new projects and how prosperity is just around the corner. This time of year, in his press conferences and in his speeches, Supervisor Walter outlines cost savings that never materialize. He announces projects that never happen. He tells us we've never had it so good. And then he asks us to saddle up and follow him to take a peek over the mountain at the Promised Land. Well, like the man behind the curtain at the Wizard of Oz, Supervisor Walter teases us. He hints about movie theaters and major employers. Sean spins yarns about mysterious developers that he can't name, big buildings and unnamed investors, and all of it coming soon. Well, like an old Catskill comedian, in an election year, Sean puts his tired old plaid coat on and saunters up to the microphone one more time and feeds us the old tired lines over and over again. Well, it just isn't funny anymore, because in the end, it's all a mirage, a fantasy, a canard, the illusion of progress. And after Election Day, when he's safely reelected, Sean's promises melt away like the snow on a warm day. We've seen this movie. Sean Walter came to office pledging 3 things: to get downtown moving, to fix our budget mess, and to build tax base at EPCAL. So, as Mayor Koch used to say, how's he doing? Well, when it comes to our finances, consider this under Sean Walter. Riverhead has become the tax capital of the East End. While Sean talks tough, our tax increases have been higher than any of our neighbors. Riverhead is Suffolk's most indebted town per person. Despite all of the supervisors' brags and boasts, the people on Wall Street, those closest to our finances, have bestowed upon us the lowest bond rating of any town in Suffolk County. Your property taxes have increased dramatically to almost over $200 over the past 2 years. Yet, if you lived only a few miles away in Brookhaven, your taxes would have only increased by a meager $5, and Southampton had no tax increase. Remember when Supervisor Walter said, we have a balanced budget? How's that working? Because guess what's not in your mailbox? Your rebate check, as we are the only town in Suffolk County to pierce the tax cap 2 years in a row. Our water district is a mess, and the supervisor has begun telling people we don't have the capacity to take on new customers. And according to Newsday, we face SOAR rate increases of anywhere from 60 to 400%. And each week seems to bring news of another IDA tax break, unfairly placing the lion's share of the tax burden on the homeowners. And while taxes are skyrocketing, the very character of Riverhead is vanishing before our eyes. So, how's he doing downtown? Sean's block by block approach has been an abject failure, as we have seen buildings being torn down, not built up. We have seen businesses closing, not opening. So what's his plan? If Sean Walters has his way, he will build 500 new affordable housing units downtown, apartments that won't have their own parking, and will make getting around downtown a nightmare. These are apartments that are unaccounted for in our master plan. Our own consultants have told us this is too much to be absorbed on our Main Street. If Sean Walters gets what he wants, downtown will become a sea of Queen-style, nameless, faceless, concrete brick towers that will dwarf Main Street's quaint historic buildings, choke out our view of the river, and forever change the look and feel of our downtown. Get in your car, drive across the county. Bayshore, Sayville, Patchogue, Greenport, Port Jefferson, Islip, they are all thriving because their leaders worked with business owners, and listened to the public to get their downtown working. Financially and downtown, Supervisor Walter has failed us. So, how's he doing at EPCAL? For almost a decade, Sean has told us that EPCAL would be our savior, that the former Grumman facility would make Riverhead prosper, that EPCAL is our economic generator, but lately he's changed his tune. Now Supervisor Walter says EPCAL is a break-even proposition. What happened? EPCAL has become Sean's magic kingdom. He talks about rocket launches and drone airplanes and other highfalutin ideas, but they are all illusory. When you get past Sean Walter's Star Wars fantasies, 8 years into his administration, in the here and now, he still has not submitted a final map to the state DEC for approval. It was supposed to happen last year, and the year before that, and the year before that. The only ones prospering at EPCAL are the consultants who have billed us for more than $1 million. And who's buying EPCAL? Sean still has no plan how to create infrastructure. He knows that we would need to build a costly fire station. He admits that the town can't provide water. And Sean forgets that there are larger planned projects much further advanced than EPCAL, closer to New York City, that will get some of the best tenants. So with that in mind, Sean's prescription at EPCAL, to permit 600 plus new homes and the equivalent of 50 supersized CVS stores at EPCAL. Homes that will come with children, that will increase our property taxes. Stores that will make EPCAL look like Route 58 West. And by the way, none of them will be paying taxes. Supervisor Walter gave away our runway to a company with no track record based on idle hope. He pushed out a high-quality, jobs-creating healthcare facility because it might bother this startup firm. Sean claims to have a buyer at the EPCAL property, but it has been months, and no one has vetted the suitor to see if they are for real. It's all a mirage, a fantasy, the illusion of progress. Sean has tap danced for so long, he can't distinguish what's real from what's not, because he needs to generate headlines to keep feeding his re-election. By any measure, 8 long years after he was elected as a reformer, Sean Walters has failed. Downtown still suffers, EPCAL has not been brought to oil, and our finances remain precarious. Our tax increases are among the highest in Suffolk County. Our water district is falling apart, the sewer district too, and our disappointment grows. Like you, I am tired of the fairy tales that all is well in Riverhead, when in fact it is just the opposite. And so today, I announce that I am a candidate for Riverhead Town Supervisor. Sorry, there's ice cubes in there. I run for this office because I know with a return to fundamentals, we can turn this town around. I am running because I know that with hard work and common sense, we can move Riverhead forward. It starts with a roadmap of where we truly are. I will conduct all-in performance audits of every town department. For 7 years, Supervisor Walter presided over a financial fiasco at the town garage. He has not garnered the savings he promised us from the recreation department. He is not on top of the true numbers. I will make better decisions based on sounder numbers. I will create a downtown action plan that stresses the basics. Downtown Riverhead needs to get a handle on cleanliness and crime. We will fill in the potholes, cobblestone streets, hang quaint street signs, and patrol the downtown. It's been a decade, and Supervisor Walter still hasn't even put up one security camera downtown, and the train station is still a mess. We need to make downtown inviting to attract any kind of investment, and I don't believe Sean understands the basics of what downtown needs. I will be committed in a way that Sean is not. I will not rush to fill Main Street with hundreds of affordable housing units. I believe that our workforce and market rate housing should be integrated into the character of downtown. I don't believe families want to walk in a downtown that looks like Rego Park, Queens. I don't think that's the change we sought for Main Street. I will rethink Walter's approach. And I am absolutely against housing at EPCAL. A vote for me will mean that you don't want to see new homes built at the Grumman site. A vote for me will mean that you don't want to see Calverton become the next retail corridor. As president of a school board, I shudder at the thought that we may have to build one or even two new schools to accommodate Sean Walter's plan for EPCAL. I will take EPCAL out of the equation. I will not offer budgets based on pie-in-the-sky plans at EPCAL. I will make EPCAL stand on its own two financial feet. I will rein in the Riverhead IDA by appointing board members who will not give away the store. Targeted tax breaks are fine when they truly attract investment that would not have otherwise come to Riverhead. But for too long, we have been giving tax breaks to anyone who asks. And this process is starting to unfairly place all of the onus for Riverhead's future on the backs of our homeowners. I will reverse this trend and make sense out of the wayward IDA. I will get the wheels turning on the small things that add up. Cleaning up downtown, working with, not against the superintendent of highways, making a fresh start at the water and sewer district, and enforcing our codes. There is much to be done, and all of it needed to be done yesterday. But the good news is that it can be done. The composer John Cage is most often credited with the simple quote, "Begin anywhere." With so much wrong, that is exactly what we need to do. And let me tell you how this is going to work, folks. When the press goes to Sean and asks for comment about our speech, he'll huff and he'll puff and he'll say that we are negative. Well, I don't think calling somebody on their false promises is negative. And I don't think pointing the way to a new path is negative. When Sean came to office in 2009, he was critical of then Supervisor Cardinale. Sean said he was offering the promise of a new Riverhead. But for 8 years now, he has been telling a story, and the tale hasn't worked. Not much is different under Sean. He has taken the ball as far as he is capable. In 2015, Sean told us if he were reelected, EPCAL would be online and downtown would be booming. That was another false promise. Sean even quoted Lincoln and said, "Don't switch horses midstream." Well, Sean, the Civil War only took 4 years, and you have been at it for 8. Switching horses is exactly what we need. It's time for fresh, new, forward-thinking, common sense, here and now thinking. There is nothing sadder than wasted potential. I am running for supervisor to make Riverhead the best it can be. I love this town, and I love public service. And I know that there is a better Riverhead ahead. Thank And I would just like to acknowledge Mark Gazzanido. She supported me last time when I ran as Riverhead Town Board candidate, and I look forward to working with you and with the whole Democratic Department over the next year, I guess it will be. So thank you very much, and thank you for all your support. Thank you.